lights out tonight. What do you think of the effort, especially establishing that line of scrimmage?
Yeah, I mean, really, the guys have been doing a really good job. We spent some time in the summertime getting prepared for this week, knowing that it was going to be a short week, and they just really they flipped it around on Sunday and came off of last week and really had a good week of practice, and it didn't stop all the way up to the game and walkthroughs. Trust me, we used every single minute we had this week to get prepared, and from the beginning of the game all the way through, I mean, we saw about every single play action pass that we could have possibly saw too, so it wasn't just in the run game, but overall really proud of the way the defense played.
3 touchdowns for Hank tonight. What did you see out of him?
Same thing what he did in practice this week, and that's really what it comes down to, is just trusting the preparation, taking what the defense gives you. When things are there, take it. If they're not, then we got to move on to the next play. And just really proud of him for, and really the offense in general, and him and Talon and the way they worked together this week to help the team get better, and obviously to be able to come out here and take care of the ball much better today and put some points on the board. And obviously there's still room to improve in certain areas on both sides of the ball and obviously on special teams.
You guys had 6 sacks tonight. What did you see out of those guys tonight that you maybe didn't see last week?
Well, number one, I think the defensive line did a really good job. Last week we got some pressure on the quarterback and caused a couple bad throws. Some of them turned into takeaways, and tonight we were just able to land on the quarterback.
You look at when it comes to Hank, and what have you seen about the support he's received from his teammates over the last week? And after that first touchdown, I mean, there are a dozen guys that went over and gave him a hug, and it felt like maybe a burden was a little taken off his shoulders, I guess.
I think it's just everyone's happy. Everyone's happy for him, happy for the team. I think everyone was extremely happy for Latrell. Let's not forget Latrell hasn't played, a lot of football, but he's done a really good job behind the scenes, and he deserves it, and scored 2 touchdowns today. So what you saw there was just an indication of what was happening in practice throughout the week, and we just got to keep building on that and finding ways to keep getting better.
Rushing was better. Hank seemed to have more production. What do you think of that offensive line tonight?
Yeah, I mean, there's typically this defense does not give up very many rushing yards year in, year out. They're really good with a rush defense because of the multiple looks and the pressures and the different coverages that come with it. It's it's not an easy thing to handle in a regular week, let alone on a short week. And tip the hat to our offense coaches for being able to get our guys ready to go and identify things. We can. There's certainly areas we can get better in the execution. I felt like we were identifying things and knew exactly what was going on in the front, so we just got to execute better.
Carlos gets a sack in the first play of the game. What kind of tone does that set for a game?
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, it's always about being able to pressure and confuse the quarterback. That always helps, especially, the amount of pass plays. Again, there was a lot of 7-man protection, 2-man routes, trying to protect the quarterback and create space on the outside, and the guys did a good job helping with the rush, and then obviously the secondary fending a lot of those off.
So some good and some bad on special teams, but that pump block and the touchdown there, how big was that?
It was huge, obviously. The opportunity, the guys wanted to go for it. They wanted to run the block, and they made the most of it. I believe it was Drew Simpson that blocked that thing, and the funny part about it is I don't know how many, he probably had like 3 blocks in spring ball too, and throughout camp has shown a unique ability to do that. So it was pretty cool for the guys. They were really excited. They'd worked really hard on that. But obviously there's areas for improvement, and we'll look at those things and keep on working.
What does a win do overall? Just to be 1-1, have a win, get to go home for the home opener now, just the morale, momentum, everything. How's it feel to get a win?
Yeah, we accomplished our mission this week, to be 1-0, and so again, it started on Sunday when we got back and being able to flip the switch, and the staff did a really good job. Not just the coaches, but the trainers, the strength staff, everybody involved to get the team ready to play. I mean, the guys were pretty sore on Monday, but they fought through it. And Tuesday they looked even better, and then Wednesday they looked even better. So I'm really proud overall, and just really thankful for the staff's effort, and obviously the players. And the amount of work and enthusiasm they had this week.
You mentioned Latrell. He had what, 4 catches in his career coming into this game. Finds the end zone twice. How good is it to see a young guy step up and contribute offensively, especially when you need a little bit of a spark?
Yeah, there's no doubt, man. He's shown, and in practice, now it's time to do it in games, that he has that type of play making capability, and so we're just really excited for him. We got to this is one game. We're going to celebrate what we did well in this game, but we got to be able to build off of it and move forward from here.
There were a lot of, end arounds, a couple, fly sweeps, different things like that. I mean, was that something that New Mexico's defense, was there opportunities there, or was there thoughts, and talks this week of, trying to get more creative and stuff with play calling?
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be some misdirection, especially with the amount of pressures they bring and stuff like that. I think it's always good. Here's the biggest thing: is a defense that pursues like that. There's opportunities if they over pursue to get them on misdirections.
No JL tonight. Alexander Tubner has massive shoes to fill, and it doesn't seem like you guys even skip a beat.
It's like last year when you guys asked how come someone else isn't playing, because he deserves to play because he's the best guy.
You guys talked all week about the guys responding this week. How did they respond in your opinion?
It was, again, they did an unbelievable job. The players committing to the things that we needed to get better at, and locking out all the outside noise and really sticking together, doing it for the man to the left and the right, and committing to what we said we wanted to be.
Do you expect JL back next week?
Yeah.
Ashton Genty obviously stepped up today. And
Yeah.
I know we ask every game, but he continues to show he deserves to be out there and make an impact.
Yeah, he did. He did a nice job. And you know what? Just scratching the surface. There's so much he's learning every opportunity he gets. He was better today than he was in his first opportunity. I'm sure there's things he learned from today that he'll even be better at next time. And I'll say this, that's the thing that, is exciting, is that I really feel in my heart like our team is committed to learning from each experience so that we can keep growing. The goal today was to get stronger throughout the course of the game, and I feel like we did that, and especially in the third quarter there, we were able to put some things together.
I'm going to ask you about Zeke real quick. Second game in a row, he stuffed the stat sheet. He had, a sack and a half, pass breakup, 4 tackles. What is it about his play that's allowed him to be so dynamic and be a playmaker early this season?
Well, I think, to play linebacker, it always helps to have a great D-line in front of you and guys that do their job, guys that create clean pictures so you could fit. But overall, Zeke is extremely consistent with what he does. In his preparation, there's a lot of preparation that goes into playing linebacker here at Boise State. There's a lot of responsibility that goes into it. Both him and DJ have shown to be very consistent with that. And Zeke was a part of 2 takeaways last week and was extremely productive today as well. Again, cool.